from the Hussman School of Journalism and Media at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
The men's basketball team proved they deserve to be in the top 10 after bouncing back on Saturday. Good morning and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Caroline Yaffa.
And I'm Isabella Gescos. Thanks for joining us. A win in the D-Dome was exactly what the Heels needed. The number 7 ranked Tar Heels spent their Saturday afternoon trying to overcome some recent struggles and secure a win against Virginia Tech. Harrison Ingram gave the team a boost early, scoring 11 points before the half with this layup and getting 17 rebounds like this one. Ingram's double-double before the second half included his 1,000th career point. RJ Davis followed close behind, having 10 points at the half and 20 overall in the game. Even after going 3 for 8 for three-pointers, Davis marked his 23rd consecutive game with multiple threes like this one in the second half. And of course, Old Faithful, Armando Bacot helped the Heels finish strong, getting his 81st career double-double and scoring 25 points, including this basket to bring the Heels to a much-needed victory, 96-81. UNC will have the week off before they take on UVA in Charlottesville on Saturday.
But I think it's also, and this is the most important thing, it's a week of practice where we can practice, not necessarily prepare.
Win today is a good day, and I think our men's basketball analyst would agree. So let's go to top of the key with Aman Patel. Aman?
Bella, the Heels needed a bounce-back win following the loss to the Orange, and they got it in tremendous fashion. After the game, RJ Davis said that this team is still a work in progress. And they are, but they seem to fix issues on a weekly basis. Last week, we talked about a lack of aggressiveness, and well, against the Hokies, the Heels were on full attack. Let's start early in the second half. After the Hokies went on a run to close the lead to 7, the Heels are going to look to get the ball to Armando Bacot. They keep swinging it around, but look at Bacot working for position. And right here, it's perfect. He sealed off his defender, and once he gets the ball, it's just about him turning over that right shoulder and finishing tough at the bucket. A little later, we're going to see a similar play to last week. He's going to come off the pick and roll this time. Armando Bacot sets the pick and then rolls into the paint. And again, you're going to think about this play. Last week, same thing. 2 guys open in the corner, 1 guy between him and the bucket. Last week, he made this pass way too early, and it led to a turnover. This week, he goes straight to the bucket and finishes the tough and one. And now that he and the Heels have been aggressive going to the basket all night, it leads to good looks for shooters. The lead just got cut to 8, and when RJ inserts this ball to Armando Bacot, look at the number of Hokies around him. 1, 2, 3 Hokie defenders, so we know someone's going to be wide open. He finds Cormac Ryan standing by himself at the three-point line, and he drains the 3. No, this Tar Heel team isn't perfect, but this team seems unafraid to hold the mirror up to itself and fix the mistakes made on a week-to-week basis. Bella?
Aman, Armando Bacot, and Harrison Ingram both had an outstanding game, each getting a double-double. Who else stood out to you?
On a day where 4 of the 5 starters had double digits, I think I'll go with the bench. Jalen Washington and Jalen Withers had impressive stretches on both sides of the ball, and having Seth Trimble in the closing lineup, it just shows how far he's come this season.
Without a weekday game, let's hope Carolina can carry this momentum to UVA. Thanks, Aman.
After snapping a 4-game losing skid, the women's basketball team traveled to Wake Forest yesterday. They tried to keep the momentum going. Last night was all Alyssa Utsby. The senior was 10 for 11 from the field and 1 for 1 from the 3, putting up 25 points like this spin that UNC needed heading into their last 4 games of the regular season. 6th-ranked NC State comes to Chapel Hill on Thursday at 8.
It takes a lot to feed 700 varsity athletes. Sophia Pedroso tells us how local restaurants are a vital part of the game day experience.
Multiple teams, including football, men's and women's basketball, field hockey, and volleyball, start their day with catering from Purple Bowl, the small acai restaurant on Franklin Street.
Here at Carmichael, the Purple Bowl catering team sets up their supplies and prepares to serve the girls of Carolina basketball.
The women's basketball team has been receiving catering from Purple Bowl approximately once a month for about 7 years.
We love Purple Bowl. It has options for everybody, and I always feel super refreshed and honestly just happy after eating it.
Paula Gilland, the owner of Purple Bowl, has proudly worked alongside Carolina women's basketball and various other sports teams at Chapel Hill. Her passion for her local business and love for Carolina athletics is shown in the hard work and care she puts into catering.
Our players absolutely love Purple Bowl. We love that they're local. Paula is absolutely wonderful. It's healthy, it's fresh. They always come here, which makes it so convenient for our players.
The relationship between Purple Bowl and women's basketball is a prime example of the synergy that exists in Chapel Hill between sports and community, as a small local restaurant gains business and athletes have access to a nutritious meal. I'm Sophia Pedroso reporting.
The women's basketball team is just one of the many teams that receives Purple Bowl catering.
The number 15th ranked UNC baseball team took the field for the first time in 2024 at home against Wagner on Friday. First, thanks to an RBI single by right fielder Anthony Donofrio. In his collegiate debut, freshman Folger Boaz pitched a gem, throwing 5 innings of 1-run ball and striking out 5. The Heels added to their lead with 6 runs in the 6th, including this 2-run home run by, of course, Vance Honeycutt. Wagner tacked on a few, but it wasn't enough as the Heels cruised to a 10-3 opening day dub. The Diamond Heels were back in action again on Saturday. They started off scoring in the 2nd inning with an RBI single from Luke Stevenson to bring in Jackson Vanderbrake, followed by a double by Alex Madeira to score a run and RBI singles by Colby Wilkerson and Casey Cook to put the Heels up by 5. The scoring started up again for the Heels in the 6th inning when they scored 5 runs, including this 3-run home run by Alberto Osuna. The Heels put the game away with a 6-run 8th inning with an RBI single from Honeycutt to bring in Madeira and then a massive 3-run homer from Cook, his first of the season, and the Heels won 16-5. In Game 3 on Sunday, Carolina dominated the 2nd inning, scoring 10 runs after several huge hits, including Alberto Osuna's home run. Gavin Gallagher also hit a dinger to right center field in the bottom of the 6th to extend Carolina's lead to 15. Freshman pitcher Olin Johnson made his UNC debut on the mound and pitched for 2 2/3 innings. UNC outscored Wagner 20-6 to sweep the series. Favorite thing to do in the spring is watch UNC sweep another team, but I'm so excited. I heard there are 2 for $1 dogs tomorrow against Elon.
Oh, you will totally be seeing me there, but the sad thing is, Caroline, my favorite dog isn't the hot dogs, it's the dog Remington.
Wait, I love him so much. He's so cute, and hopefully he'll be at the game tomorrow.
Hopefully.
So after sweeping the Wagner Seahawks this weekend, let's hit it over to our baseball analyst, Caroline Daly, for Daily on the Diamond to hear her thoughts on the opening weekend. Caroline?
Caroline, the Diamond Heels showed out this weekend at the Bosch. The Bats were on fire. The Heels scored a total of 46 runs this weekend compared to Wagner's 14. The Heels newcomers have already made an impact. In the opening day game on Friday, the newcomers had 7 out of the 11 hits. One transfer who made an impression was Parks Harbor. Harbor was 3 for 4 with an RBI in the 7th inning to score Vance Honeycutt and help put the game away for the Heels. Then in the 2nd game, in the bottom of the 6th, the Heels hadn't scored since the 2nd inning, and they were tied with the Seahawks 5-5. Harbor sparked the offense again with this triple to bring in Casey Cook for a run and help give the Heels the lead again. While Harbor is skilled using the bat, he's also skilled using his glove. On Saturday, Seahawks outfielder Henry Martinez, he hits the ball toward the first baseline. And Harbor right here, he's going to extend his body to make this amazing snag to give the Heels their 2nd out of the inning. It looks like Harbor is going to be a great addition to the Heels roster this season after they lost some key players like Mac Horvath in the draft this past year. Caroline?
Well, Caroline, you mentioned there were a lot of newcomers this weekend on the hitting side. Who else, aside from Harbor, showed out in your opinion this weekend?
Graduate transfer Anthony Donofrio had 2 RBIs per game on both Friday and Saturday. So it looks like he'll be able to help the Heels offense alongside Harbor.
Thanks, Caroline. I'm so excited to see what all these newcomers can do for the Diamond Heels when they face off against ECU this weekend.
What was supposed to be a weekend full of Carolina softball turned out to be a weekend of rain delays in Florida, but the team still had one exciting matchup on Friday. Through the first 4 innings, UCF and the Tar Heels were locked in a pitcher's duel. The teams tied it up 1-1 in the 5th, but in the 6th, Carolina pulled away and held on for the 2-1 win. But because of the rainouts the rest of the weekend, the softball team missed 3 games against top 20 opponents, Texas, Washington, and UCLA. The team, though, will be back in action in the Hill against UNCG on Wednesday. Women's lacrosse faced off against Florida Saturday morning for a top 15 matchup. The Gators were on the board first, but Carolina quickly picked up the pace, scoring 3 in a row, including this one from Caitlin Wurzberger, where she curls around the net and fires a shot. The back and forth quarter brought the score to a tie entering halftime. Next, we had this over-the-head shot from attacker Eva Agrile as she and the Heels heated up out of the break, scoring 11 goals. The Heels chomped the Gators 19-10, their first ranked win of the season.
There's so much praise in that, and confidence and trust in each other, and it's something we put more Dodgers on the field because I felt like we weren't doing a great job there, so we shifted our personnel around to try to put more pressure on them.
The women's lacrosse team travels to Charlottesville on Friday to battle it out with the 16th ranked Cavaliers. Down go the Gators. Let's go inside the crease with Caroline Routh to talk about what the Heels did right in this top 15 matchup. Caroline?
Bella, at halftime, the score was tied 8-8. A good team says, let's keep it up. But a great team says, let's step it up. And that's exactly what the Heels did on Saturday. For the second goal of the half, the Heels are going to clear out this left side and give Alyssa Long some room to work. So she's going to take this ISO, wrapping around and just rolling right on the inside of the crease to get an easy diving shot. Now, they stepped it up and played selfless lacrosse to get Alyssa Long to birdie the ball. In another bout of selfless play, we're going to see Alyssa Long ready for the 8-meter free position shot. Now, instead of driving in or ripping it from the 8, she's going to pass it out to Riley Casey. When Casey catches, all the defenders are going to look towards her, leaving Caitlin Wurzberger wide open on the crease for an easy catch and shot. Now, this unselfish team play is exactly what the Heels need. Good teams step up by playing for each other, and that's exactly what we saw on Saturday. Bella?
Carolina, we saw the Heels struggle to pull out a close win in a game against James Madison just a week ago. What do you think has changed for the Tar Heels?
Well, Bella, the Heels are adjusting with some of their key players and leaders sidelined, but it's leaving room for new players to step up. And in tight games, that selfless play is exactly what they need.
Thanks, Caroline. It's encouraging to get a win like that while missing some key players.
On Saturday, the UNC men's lacrosse team traveled to Maryland to take on the Fairfield Stags. Carolina led 9-3 at half. Then in the third period, the Heels had 7 straight goals. 10 different players scored, leading to Carolina dismantling the Stags 19-8. The Gym Heels took on Pitt on Friday in the first nationally televised meet at Carmichael. It might have been the extra fever points or the fire from the crowd, but let me tell you, Carmichael was hot. Julia Noer started the night strong and stuck her first landing of the night in vault, landing her a 9.9. Noer carried the Tar Heels as she soared over Pitt with all of her routines, with the top score in vault, beam, and floor. Her beam performance was close to perfect, scoring a 9.85. Noer ended the night with her floor routine, sticking all of her passes. Noer takes home the win with a 9.9. Isabel Schaefer is the only other person on the top scores list with her score of 9.925 in the uneven bars to help secure the win for the Tar Heels.
I think we just carried that momentum and that progress and took another step, and I mean, job's not done yet.
We'll see if Noer can keep soaring when the Heels compete against Clemson in an away meet on Friday.
Coming off a win against Pitt, wrestling looked for another ACC win against Virginia in Charlottesville Friday evening. Max Shaw in the 197 class put the Heels ahead early on with an 11-5 decision. In the 125 class, Spencer Moore won his match 20-4 against Sammy Hayes, earning his 4th technical fall. Despite an upset from Justin McCoy for the Cavaliers, taking down Tyler Eichens in a 6-4 decision, the Heels still managed to top the Hoos 18-16.
UNC track and field split their efforts this weekend, with part of the team traveling to South Bend to compete in the Alex Wilson Invitational, while the rest of the team competed in the Virginia Tech Challenge. At the Alex Wilson Invitational, the men's distance medley relay team set a school record and ACC record with the 4th best NCAA time ever, 9 minutes, 17 seconds. What's even more impressive, this was their first time this season competing in the event. While over at the Virginia Tech Challenge, Mackenzie Hartman secured 2nd place in the women's 60-meter hurdles. 2 Tar Heels were on the podium in the women's 800-meter, and both Sydney Campbell and Jocelyn Johnson set personal bests and finished on the podium in the women's 200-meter. Carolina hopes to continue this success into Thursday when the Heels compete at the ACC Indoor Championships. The JV men's basketball team hosted Hines Prep Academy Saturday morning, hoping to add on to their 3rd game win streak. While North Carolina had a slow start, this bucket by Noah McKenzie lit a fire under the Heels. Russell Hawkins' lockdown defense and Nick Boone's commanding 11 rebounds allowed the Heels to hit their stride, and Hines Prep struggled to match the intensity and momentum. In the second half, Carolina also dominated on offense with big plays from Evan Albelines and Carson Cryer. The Heels sent the Knights marching home 73-56.
It's spring sports season, which means that we have some new sports in the lineup for our play of the week. First, we have Vance Honeycutt in Game 1 against Wagner, sending the ball flying out of the park for a 2-run homer, bringing in Wilkerson. Carolina won the game 10-3 and swept the series. Next up, we have Julian Noer on vault, scoring an almost perfect score, but will settle for a 9.9. She had an overall outstanding night in each of her events, leading the Heels to a victory against Pitt. Now, I know my favorite, and you can tell us yours by voting on our Instagram at SportsExtraUNC. We will reveal the winner on Friday.
Some students have good luck when winning a coveted intramural t-shirt, but Thomas Hicks tells us that it's even seniors that are still chasing the title.
This year, the confetti is going to fall for North Carolina.
At UNC Chapel Hill, they have become not just the goal, but the standard. However, the championship students really care about are intramurals. And some people, like senior Corbin Morley, are still battling for that coveted IM t-shirt, and he's been close many times.
The semis or quarters, somewhere in there, I can't remember exactly, but a couple good runs that have been a lot of fun and really enjoyable, but it always stings a little bit when you come up just short.
But Corbin doesn't get too caught up on the wins and losses. He isn't just pursuing a championship or the shirt you get when you win, but a sense of community.
I've gotten to know them and to like people that I really didn't know beforehand, who they were a friend of a friend, and then being able to play with them, that starts a new friendship, something that, could go past the college years where they're, a friend for the next, 10, 20, maybe, the rest of your life. It's so, I think, important to be able to, cultivate that type of community.
But don't be mistaken, Corbin still wants that final prize.
Obviously it's an IM t-shirt, it isn't the end of the world. If I don't win one, I would just like to get one.
And Corbin thinks that even if you don't think you're that good at a sport, you should give IMs a try too.
Do it. It's a really worthwhile experience. It's time well spent, and you'll have a ton of fun doing it. Even if you're not great, it's enjoyable. It's a good time, so I definitely recommend just doing it when you can.
Corbin may not have his t-shirt yet, but I bet on him and his friends to get one this season. I'm Thomas Hicks, reporting.
Bella, I can understand Corbin's hope to win a championship because whether it's intramural, JV, varsity at Chapel Hill, championships just tend to keep on coming.
We're kind of just known for that, but there's this crazy stat that if you've attended UNC since 1965 to now, you've experienced at least one national championship.
Wait, so how many do you have in your years here?
I think My fourth team one was most recently this past fall with UNC Field Hockey. But before we go, one of the 4 teams that have won since we've been here, we'll be highlighting them for a 30 for 30 style documentary about the UNC Field Hockey team's 2023 championship run debuting tomorrow night. Hope you enjoy.
And the Carolina Tar Heels have completed the undefeated season for the 6th time, culminating to their 10th unprecedented national championship.
Shelton announced her retirement this afternoon after 42 stellar seasons in Chapel Hill.
Nobody thought that a 23-year-old coach could lead a team to a national championship. Nobody thought that this team could play without Aaron Matson.
At 23 years old, Matson is the youngest head coach in all of Division I sports.
The whole country was definitely eyes on us, doubting us that we had this young coach.
There was definitely doubters, definitely rumors. I mean, people talking.
How are you going to deal with being that coach's best friend and being in her grade and growing up with her the last 5 years, and then she's now like your leader and your coach? Like, how are you going to deal with that?
The doubters gave us fuel as a team, and I think it pushed us to know that we can do this without Aaron. It was all about how we can come together as a team and prove those doubters wrong.
To be a champion is a choice, and to believe that you're not going to lose at any point, and you got this. And really just putting your hearts together and playing.